All right, how's everybody doing today? It's Monday, May 3rd. Happy Monday to you. Monday! It means you survived another weekend. A wild and wacky weekend. Or if the pandemic is still strong in your neighborhood, mind insanity of shutting yourself in and locking yourselves in the house. Whatever the case, whatever end of that spectrum that you were in throughout the weekend, you survived it. It's Monday. It's a brand new week. Um, just to point out what's going on, we got vaccines still handing out there. People trying to get vaccines to their neck of the woods, wherever they're falling short. Conor McGregor, UFC fighter, and Jake Paul, which is a boxer, they're still yelling at each other. They've been yelling at each other and in hate and judging each other and calling each other bad names and all this good stuff and nini poo poo. They're still going on. Had a couple of local elections. We still got our mayor. I'm very happy of that. And the district representative. The statewide representatives are working right now to try to keep their offices or at least win them. Migration down here is still being handled well, despite the fact that we still got a bunch of kids, supposedly hundreds, still coming up here to the north, coming up to Texas and other parts. A boat capsized transporting 40 of them. Only a couple of them got rescued. The rest passed away. They drowned to death in the tide over there on California coast, which is a very saddening thing. You know, I think the only good thing about here in Texas, where we got all these people being caught, is that they're being caught and nobody's actually getting killed in the process. None of the other migrants that are trying to cross the border without seeking asylum. All right. That being said, I actually want to change the subject to the troops. They're supposed to be pulled out of Afghanistan originally May 1st. But obviously transitions take time, and the deadline has been moved to 9/11, September 11th, in which case it would be a 20th anniversary at the same time, and it makes sense, really. It makes sense because we already got our target. We already got Osama bin Laden. We got somebody that was in power just the same, which was Saddam Hussein. We actually got him first. Gaddafi is down. The Ayatollah, they're not causing any problems anymore. I think we knocked them out. All that's left is really the Taliban, maybe even Al-Qaeda. We got several of them throughout the past 20 years. So it makes sense that, that seeing as how we got our guy, we got the people that were responsible. We're releasing people in Guantanamo that, that didn't have anything to do with, just looked suspicious, or may have like known them but not known them, this other crap. So it's a good thing. Now, what's going on over there, as many of us who have been paying attention, is that the Taliban wants our troops out, and they want them out now, which cannot be the case. Moving out takes time, doing it right as well. And there's a lot of people that are concerned about the civilians, which brings me to the next subject. There's a lot of people that are going to be enslaved by the Taliban once we move out. They're going to be enslaved by the Al Qaeda once we move out. There might even be an ISIS problem there developed once we move out. ISIS recruits a lot of people. They've recruited a lot of factions, people that we thought would be able to hold up against them. But it turns out not just civilians, but other warlords and other people that follow underneath the warlords' banners have joined. Sikhs have seen traitors. Sheiks have seen traitors. The Muslims and Islams, they've all had traitors that have left them to go join ISIS. So to think that the Taliban is either not susceptible to getting traitors amongst them, is just as silly as the Taliban. Taliban just not devoting themselves to anybody, but the Taliban themselves joining ISIS. Stuff like that happens. Powers shift. Opportunities come. Of course, the flip side to that is the ISIS themselves joining the Taliban. One-time rivals, now unified, especially because the U.S. moved out. That can make a very big impact, a very big impression on other organizations, including ISIS. And along with that comes civilians that are going to be, captive, enslaved, killed, butchered. If not, just put a price tag on their asses. There's a lot of genocidal tactics that can be done on people who are non-followers, on people who are just people, And my deal is, why not take them with us? If they don't belong to any one of those warlord groups, if they don't devote themselves to ISIS or Taliban or Al Qaeda, transport them over here. I think that's what we did with Saigon, with the Vietnam War at the end. We had to leave a few people behind, obviously, because of a deadline. But seeing as how we've got all this time, we've got, quarter of a year's time to get this fixed, to pull out. Well, take the civilians that want to come over here with us. Take the civilians that don't want to be there with us, or drop them off somewhere else, just tell them, hey, you're going to be blended in here with the Jews and the Mexicans and the, and the Asians and the blacks, you got to, along with us whites, you got to let them know, hey, this is a melting pot. And once they leave, once they come over here, they're a part of it now. Now there's a lot of people that have actually embraced this, though. People that have fled the segregative and discriminative sexual oppression of their country to be here from the Middle East. There are some women that'll still wear the headdress, and there are some of them that won't. There's some of them that'll, they'll still stick to Middle Eastern wives. There's some men that'll still stick to Middle Eastern wives. They may not be from the exact country or the exact denominant religion, whether they follow Muhammad or is the Islamic whatever name is for God. Whether they follow the Ayatollah or they follow, old Gaddafi ruling standards, those might not be the same. Their life choices might not have been the same, but they still marry each other, nevertheless, to be happy. And there's going to be some that aren't. There's going to be some that'll actually blend in here and marry outside their race with this nationality. It's not nothing new. We've seen it a lot. So, bring them over. That's all I got to say. Bring them over. It sounds stupid because we've got a migration problem down here in Texas, but technically we're working it, though. We're working everything out. We've got them, to top it all off, it's kids. It's not full-grown adults that know how to, professionally lie and make themselves, look innocent despite the fact that they're crooks. You can't say that about these kids. And I understand that it's going to be tough for those over there in the Middle East, but you know what? It's better than them staying over there being butchered. It's better than us turning our backs and being, having our troops forced to walk away after all that time over there, setting an example about not wanting to put up with the oppressive regimes over there. Bring them over here. Bring them over here. Let them live their lives over here. Let them live their lives with loving Muhammad or Allah, the way they'd like to, in peace, in actual peace, the way their own religious books claim to promote so much. Let them come over here. Now, the moment they start calling us infidels and all this other crap, and if they literally can't come over here in good conscience because they believe that we are infidels, okay, fine. Stay over there, Take your chances with the Taliban and and Al-Qaeda. Take your chances. Good luck, But this time, we really should give that opportunity to bring them over here. Because once we're out. It was 20 some years before any of us could actually revisit Vietnam. Before any of the troops, any of the medical staff, 2 decades went by. So it's obvious that it's going to be another few decades or more in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, before anybody could ever go back. And even still, by that time, who would really want to, It's a place overrun by warlords and people of religious hate. Screw them. But which finally leads to the final point. Once we pull out, let's stay out. Even if Russia decides to invade again, Russia has been attacking Crimea, the Ukraine, Bosnia, Kosovo, Croatia, Herzenberg. People, those are countries that don't mind being allies with us. They don't have a religious problem, a religious stipulation that says that they have to call us infidels or traitors to God. So let's keep them. Let's support them. And if Russia wants to go and invade Afghanistan, let Afghanistan deal with it. Let Afghanistan deal with it. I got a pretty good feeling once we come out, they're gonna have a huge impression stapled on the rest of the Middle East. ISIS and all them will be impressed. Some kind of unity will be taking place. Despite the fact that they're always constantly at war with each other. That's irrelevant. A big dog got bounced out, so to say. Even though technically we didn't. We just decided we just got tired of fighting and wanted to leave. And want to leave. That's really what's happening. It's not like Vietnam, where we're doing all these wrong decisions and scandals and all this other stuff and playing just by the numbers. That's not what happened with Afghanistan. That happened in Vietnam. That's fine. But it did not happen that way with Afghanistan. We got our targets. We killed the head honchos. And we keep killing everybody that gets in place. How many has gone there? We used to have a deck of cards with all the leaders' faces on them. We already annihilated all of them. They're gone. All that's left are these rookie leaders right now that are taking their place. And the only thing that they're doing is just, taking shots at the U.S. troops that are there. They're not invading anybody. There hasn't been a car bomb or a bomb or, airplane bomb. Not since 9/11, There hasn't been a train bomb. Nobody's bombed a subway. I think we've made a pretty good impression ourselves that once we're there, we could take up to 2 decades and kick your asses left and right, kick their butts left and right. We've got our targets to top it all off. Whoever's in charge is going down. Plain and simple. We've already stuck that impression to everybody out there around the world. When we pull out, nobody's going to be saying that we chicken shit. The only ones that will are the people that are following the Taliban's brainwashed, babbling bullcrap, which falls along the same lines of everybody out there is an infidel. You see what I'm saying? They're the only ones that are going to be believing that crap. And how can they not? They're all high on their own cot. They've got opium fields and everything. Of course they're going to believe it. And so much has improved since 9/11. We don't get people just walking through and stuff like airplane terrorists passing by with a grenade launcher, a bazooka. But yeah, I mean it's about time. It's time to pull everybody out. But honestly, let's take everybody that doesn't want to be a part of that crap with us. And once we're out, we're out. The Taliban are on their own. Should Russia invade? Should China invade? Should any of the other Middle Eastern forces invade? Warmongers and all them, the ISIS and any of the sheiks. Sheiks have lots of money. They can, they've got a lot of money to arm a lot of people. At one time, they were targets by the Taliban. Not the Taliban, the ISIS. ISIS were attacking sheiks left and right. They were attacking Sikhs and sheiks and anybody else that just wasn't following them. And so, whoever wants that power, whoever wants that Afghanistan oil, whoever wants that Afghanistan poppy fields, whoever wants just the territory, you know what? From this point on, once we pull out, let's stay out. They're on their own. Taliban are so consider themselves so powerful. So powerful. Taking cheap shots at U.S. forces. Okay, fine. But once we leave, they're on their own. Okay? No more of this BS, alliance BS. They're to fight their own battles from this point on. U.S. came in, annihilated them, appointed a president for them. The Afghanistans themselves rejected it. It happened like 2 times. And then we stayed there to try to keep the peace. They don't want peace. That went on for 2 decades. Screw it. Screw it. they're on their own. That's all I have to say. And I really, really hope that that's what, our government will do. Just leave them on their own. Forget them. Plain and simple. Let them do let us take whoever wants to come be with us and be an American, a tax-paying American, and, just give them to us. And we'll leave them alone. Won't ever come back and bother them again. That's my spiel. That's my hopes. I got my fingers crossed for that. Hope everybody out there is doing okay and staying safe. The vaccine, a lot of people still don't want to take them. I understand that. Try to look at it as sort of a cheating the devil kind of thing. Goes based off of a story. A guy wants a girl. He sells his soul for her to the devil. He gets the girl, so the devil wants to take him. Except here comes a friend who doesn't want to see either one of them go. So he challenges the devil to a game, a contest. He wins the contest, therefore wins the soul. The devil wants a soul, so he says, you play me, I'll take your soul. So he agrees to that, except he already sold his soul to the girl that the first man wanted. And he doesn't want a rematch. He doesn't want to let the Lucifer have a rematch. And so they walk away clean. It's a cheating the devil out of a soul. Now, that analogy being put into a medical amongst societies, society level, in reality, and here in the real world, you got these masks that don't stop you from getting sick. They just keep others from being sick. You got a vaccination. It doesn't stop you from being sick. However, the virus won't stop going to the next person. Okay, and if the next person has the vaccine, there it is. And if he's breathing and all this stuff out, well, he's wearing the mask. The virus doesn't get to the next person. Okay, the virus doesn't win. The virus being Lucifer. And that's a silly way of doing it, a metaphoric way. But people, there's a lot of you out there that don't want to take the vaccine because you're still not sure as to whether or not it's safe, and you still don't see a point if it doesn't stop a vaccine, despite the fact that it stops the vaccine for the next person. You don't want to wear a mask. You don't see the reason for the mask, despite the fact that no, you still got the thing. So if you're infected, you're breathing inside this mask, but not keeping it from hitting anybody else. You're keeping it from hitting anybody else. So therefore, you're cheating. That virus is being cheated a chance out of getting somebody else. Now you see what I'm saying. All I can say is please get your vaccination. The two-parter, whether the first shot being the one to get your body accustomed to it, the second shot to seal the deal, or like me, I took the Johnson & Johnson, one shot, one kill, just boom, got it, went back to work. My body is already used to vaccines, though. I'm used to the immunization shots. I'm used to the vaccine shots. I'm used to the allergy shots. My body's already accustomed to that. It misses it every time I miss a year. Every time I skip a year. Not by choice, just, I forget or I'm just so busy. But yeah, I'm accustomed to, so I could take that one shot, one kill Johnson like it's nothing, It's what I do here as a rideshare driver. I've got the shot. Some of my riders have this shot, but we're still putting the mask on. We're still putting our mask on to keep any germs and whatever not that comes from the breathing to ourselves. And this is after and before and after closing and opening these doors. I roll the window down to confirm, hey, are you ex so-and-so? You know, I'm Chris the driver. And something could fly in. But we are confident with ourselves because of the fact that we've got our shots. I've got my shot. So more than likely there's no virus brewing in here. You know, at least not before I rolled the window down to check, not before he opened the door to hop on in. You know, and maybe after there's a virus lingering in here. But I'm wearing my mask, I'm keeping them out, and I've got myself already vaccinated, you know, and I've already got this place disinfected. I've already got this car disinfected with the air circulation, you know, keeping all the disinfected air in here. So, you know, I'm being safe. It's just being safe. It's not a guarantee. I understand that. But it's being safe, and it's a heck of a lot more. You're a heck of a lot more confident as you travel around, as you move around. So I'm down to the last a minute, and I'm going to be taking off. Stay safe out there, you know, take care, and support the troops coming home. Support the troops now, and support the troops that are homeless. Support the troops, you know, any and every way, okay? This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out. Take care.